Take your time.
Hello, Pete. Well, to talking on your host Nathan. I've got my co-host with me here, Tom. Hello, Tom. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing well, Nathan. Just so you know, you're coming a little bit in and out. You're going to need to get closer to your mic.
I've got it as close as I can get it. I can't get it. Can you hear me better now?
All right, great. I can hear you better, yes.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm doing well. And how are you doing?
I'm good, mate. Yeah.
Great.
Right, let's start things off. Tom, what do you think?
Well, Nathan, you dropped out. I didn't hear a word you said except for what do you think?
What do you think of the Joshua Usyk fight? What did you think?
Well, I thought it was very interesting. I noticed immediately that Usyk was controlling the angles for a lot of the fight. He had his right foot outside of Joshua's left foot. And the way he was pivoting back and forth, he wasn't letting Joshua get set. And Joshua was just trying to follow him around, which was the totally wrong strategy in a fight like this. Joshua had his best success when he came in aggressively and backed him up. And that's what he needed to do. He was the bigger man, the stronger man. He needed to swarm him and get him so that he couldn't move as much and unload on him. It's a different mindset. And he was trying to box this guy, and this guy was just too slick for him. Usyk was just too slick, and he kept him respectable. I don't think Joshua ever got really hurt in the fight. He tripped once. It looked like he was getting a knockdown. I didn't see that. And then he got his eye hurt in the last round. So, but his whole psychology and the way they're training him in this fight was a complete disaster strategy wise. He needed to get on top of this guy and muscle him and not box him. He needed to just get on there and brutalize him. And of course, it's risky, but as the bigger man, that's what should have happened. I don't understand how they planned for this strategy. In my opinion, it was a big mistake. I think he needs to look at, what got him the success earlier in his career. And that was when I know he got hurt a few times, but in this situation, he needed to get in there and pound Usyk to stop him from moving to the body, to the head. He managed to do that for about 2 or 3 rounds, and it was successful, but he needed to do it the whole fight.
Yeah, for me, he just wasn't. It's like he wasn't even trying. He's trying to hit.
Hey, Nathan?
Can you hear
Nathan?
me? Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we're probably not going to be able to get through this because
Yeah,
you
we
keep
will.
cutting out.
Well, we will have to. So I haven't got any of the
Okay.
device with me. So yeah,
All right.
I
What
thought
did you say?
I said Joshua. I thought Joshua. He didn't. It's like he almost like he tried too hard, but he had no strategy to go with. He was sitting fresh air. He was getting counted every time. It was sloppy.
It was sloppy because he tried to box him. He needs to get effective aggressiveness. He thought he could get him from the outside. I don't know if he's worried he's going to get knocked out again. They have him too defensive. In this kind of fight, he had to push him back. He had to push Usyk back and unload to the body and the head, which he did in a few rounds, and it was very successful. You saw Usyk's face at the end of the fight, but he didn't impose himself. That was the thing. He was too cautious, in my opinion. Can't hear you, buddy.
I said he needs to get a new coach. Go back to.
I think so. I think he does. I think he
also
what?
needs to go back to basics.
I think he has a good foundation. I think it's a psychological thing too.
Yeah.
I think, they're trying to run, they're trying to work on so many different things with him, to make him a complete boxer and also a devastating puncher.
You know why
Like
this is,
he,
you know why this has all happened, don't you? Because they pushed him to only won this one time. They rushed it. Let me just
yeah,
carry on talking in Spencer's.
yeah, I see that he's coming in, which is good. So Spence will be here in a second. Uh, but that's how I felt. I'd like to get Spencer's view on this.
Yeah.
Um,
But to
so
me,
hopefully we can.
needs to go a different direction, for the time being.
Yeah, yeah. He has everything. He has size, he has power, he has good combinations. It's just this killer instinct. He seems tame now, you know? He seems tamed. So he definitely has to, it's like Mike Tyson was trained. He was trained to box, but he was also trained to go in there, get inside, and take these guys apart. And there's a certain level of confront that has to happen with that. You have to be willing to have that killer instinct be unleashed and go in on him. And there you go. That's the best thing. So let Spencer in. He's trying to get in here right
I
now.
know, but the machine.
Yeah. So let's get his opinion on this and get him to sign in because I think he would agree with me when it comes to this in terms of strategy, in terms of it being psychological and him having he needed to go really animal on him. That's my opinion. He was too cautious. That it's about getting in there and being willing to get hit, but going in there and just cornering this guy and pounding him every second you can. And that's what won the fight for him, to impose all of his physical, his physical advantages on him.
Let me
Do
just
you
see
agree with
that.
that?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get our brother Spencer in here. Come on, Spencer. Uh, are you at work or at home, Nathan?
I'm at home.
Oh, that may be why too. Maybe the internet signal. But in any case, all praise and respect to Usyk. He fought a great fight, and he won the title. He definitely won. So there was no doubt about it. I don't think in most people's minds who won that fight.
It's the case Joshua's number all day long.
I lost half of that or most of it.
I said that there's people that Joshua won't. There's people that Joshua can beat that Usyk won't be able to beat. I don't he might be the odd fighter.
Right. But again, he had to change from the boxer puncher into the fighter. The guy who just goes, there to destroy him, to impose himself on him. And you could see his eyes going back and forth, like, where is he now? Usyk would be on the angles. He'd all of a sudden he'd move to his right. He'd be out of range of Joshua's right hand. You can't let a guy move like that. You're not going to win a fight like that. It's like trying to fight Pacquiao. He's here and then he's here and then he's here. That's what Usyk was doing. So
I,
good for him.
he could have got him out of there, I believe. He'd really wanted to.
Usyk or Joshua?
Usyk could have got him out of there. Probably a couple of rounds earlier if he'd really
Mm,
wanted.
I don't think so. I don't think he was carrying enough pop to do it. You know, he would have had to stand toe to toe for that. And in the process of doing that, he probably would have got clocked.
Yeah.
I mean, he does recognize that Joshua is a bigger puncher, and you could tell just by his face. You know, if you look at Joshua's face, it was only the eye that got hurt and nothing
Spencer's here now
else.
anyway.
Hey,
What's
Spencer.
what's going on, Tom? What's going on, Nate?
All right, mate.
So I just said a whole mouthful of about what I thought about Usyk and Joshua. Why don't you chime in on that?
About the fight itself?
Yes, sir.
It was a good fight. I mean, I thought Josh was going to end it late or whatever because I thought he was going to overpower him. Like his hits was going to be too much. He buzzed Usyk a couple of times. He did, Usyk did feel it as we seen, but AJ didn't follow up on those times that he did buzz him. Maybe because he was drained himself by the time he buzzed him that he couldn't, put that extra gas into it. I think he was supposed to bully him, like hit him everywhere,
Right.
like we were saying. He was trying to outbox him, which was definitely not the right strategy for a better boxer than you.
No.
That,
Yeah, he had to be all over him, and
yeah.
that's what that was the thing.
And as he's seen, well, for the rematch, which could keep AJ's head held high, he did buzz him, like I said. So if he does go in there with a different game plan instead of trying to stay away and outbox him and just go in there and fight him, then maybe he can tire out Usyk, and get to him.
I think we're saying the same thing exactly, because in this fight he needed to impose his physical advantages on him and bully him and fight him, not box him. Just when he did that, in a couple of rounds, he actually was scoring. You could see it on Usyk's face.
Yeah, he buzzed him quite a few times, and I mean, he definitely outclassed AJ in that fight. Like he showed who was the better boxer of the two.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Social media going crazy with him being the greatest and all this other stuff, but I'm like, calm down. Calm down.
It's
it was a good
interesting you said that.
performance.
Yeah. It's very interesting you said that, because I watched the Muhammad Ali documentary. Those fights were nothing compared to. I mean, this was a good fight. I'm not knocking it, and I really props to Usyk. Props to Usyk. But those guys fought. They were in there ready to die.
Yeah, and they didn't. They fought more often. They fought against club fighters a lot. They have a lot of B level, C level fighters on their resume, but they would fight in like every 2 to 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. That's why they got like 60, 70 fights on their record, some of these guys. So, and they would be retiring by like 35. They wouldn't be in their 40s retiring. So,
no.
So yeah, they didn't have the length of time in between fights. They didn't get a chance to only fight like once they were on top. They didn't only get a chance to fight only big fights. If that was the case, we would have never had the movie of Rocky. We would have never had Rocky if that was the case, because Ali would have never fought Wepner, and that's the movie that fight was based off of.
Right. That was right after the Thriller in Manila.
Yeah.
I was driving home from Indiana to come back to New York City. Oh, no, somewhere in Pennsylvania to come back to New York City because I wanted to get off the road playing. And I listened to that fight on the radio, and then it said they knocked them down. Wepner knocked them down, but he actually stepped on his foot.
And he tripped up.
Yeah, that pissed Ali off, and he waited till the 15th round, the last round, to knock him out.
Yeah, that was
anyway. Yeah, that was something.
Yeah. Made a movie out of it. Made a whole franchise. Sylvester Stallone got rich off of that.
Good for him. All right, what's the next subject, Nathan? We want to talk about Tyson Fury and Wilder getting set up for next week. Can you hear Nathan, Spencer?
No, I can't.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yes, stay close to your mic.
I was saying, I think it's a shame we don't have the Mike Weavers, the Ken Nortons, and the Larry Holmeses, and the people like that and the Frasers around him, because you had more varied fighters. There was more fighters, with more different styles.
I mean, they got. I mean, if you look at the heavyweight division, it's not really that bad. They got a lot of good matchups. Obviously, Fury is up there, but like the next level of guys, you got Ruiz versus, like, say, Ruiz versus the winner of this Kalnaki versus Hellenius fight. That to me
Right.
would be an
That's
interesting fight.
yeah.
Dylan
That would be good.
Dylan White versus Wilder would be interesting. Dylan White versus Michael Hunter would be interesting to me. Like there's a lot of matchups that will be good that, for whatever reason, we probably won't see them. But Parker versus Ruiz
Anybody.
again, let's see that again. See if Ruiz could beat Parker cleanly this time.
Right.
That's the thing. See, back then they fought each other. All of them fought, and they fought more often, like you said. And
Do you
they
guys
were
reckon that Joshua was rough too? He didn't have the chance.
You muffled. You sound muffled.
Saying they pushed Joshua too quick. 2 or 3 years too quick, in my view.
they pushed Joshua too quick. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, they pushed him 2 or 3 years too quick, in my view. So he didn't have got the learning that he needed to do,
I don't know about that. I think, he made a big statement when he won the title. I think his team, he needs a different team. He needs a different trainer. His psychological makeup there's something
So
missing
different.
in him.
Well, I would say this. I think his team don't know how to do a plan B in the ring. Like when they see him losing, they don't know how to like adjust to what's going on. They had a certain plan and it wasn't working, and they was just like, keep doing that until it starts working, which, because in my opinion, AJ he's a guy that's eager to learn new things. Like as I've seen with the Ruiz win, like when he lost to Ruiz, he fought a totally different fight that second fight. It was I mean, they won, and he clearly won the fight. I mean, Ruiz helped out by not being in shape and all of that, but AJ came in there. I'm not going to fight that same fight I fought before. I'm changing up something. So he's going to have to fight me differently than he fought me the first time. And he might do that again with this Usyk stuff,
I hope so, because he's got the talent for it, and he's got everything in his favor, but there's something missing. They tamed him too much.
He lost his head.
It's a couple of things. He started late. He doesn't have that natural thing that a lot of boxers get when they're starting to grow from into their puberty years. Because a lot of guys start hitting the gym early, like early teens, like 12, 13. A lot of the guys start to introduce themselves with throwing punches and stuff like that. AJ didn't have that. He didn't start till he was 18, 19. So there was certain things that he wasn't naturally doing. He was like thinking that it wasn't coming natural. And it was for a while that he was just, it looked like he was thinking what he was doing as opposed to him just throwing punches. You get what I'm trying to say, Tom?
Yeah, I got everything you're saying. I understand completely.
Should we move on then?
Now you can see, like, go ahead.
Wilder
and Fury is the thing we was talking about, and I think Wilder Fury should still win again. I don't think Wilder did anything. I mean, he always got that chance to hit him, but like Mike Tyson made a good point, and he confessed on himself. He was like, when I was younger and I lost, like even with the Buster Douglas loss, he couldn't come to grips with Buster Douglas beating him. So he was making all these excuses and all this other stuff. He wasn't being honest with himself, like, the guy fought a better fight that night. He came better prepared and he whipped my ass. So that's why he won. And until you could come to grips with that, you won't like try to really do anything different. You think that you did enough, you got enough with what you got to beat him. he just did something, cheated or whatever. You try to, come up with these excuses. Hopefully
What do you
Malik
think,
Scott.
Nate? Yeah, hopefully Malik.
I was
I'm
gonna say
going to be
hopefully
honest.
Malik can change him up.
I'm not going to pick a winner because I can't decide on that split. Fury should win, but I don't know. Who knows?
I don't see, my take on this is that they both had what, 18 months now
Yeah.
each, something like that between
Yeah.
the fights, and they both have been training. Uh, I think all of the attention from Wilder has been on just beating Fury. So his attention has been totally on that, while Tyson Fury's had his attention on different things, and then he had that thing with his daughter, his newborn daughter, who died. But I think now Tyson is focused, and I think he's pissed that he's had to make this third fight again. So I think that unless Wilder has really changed his style, the only chance he's going to have is that right hand. They're trying to say he's going to go to the body, but I don't think that's really what's going to happen. If he goes to the body, he's going to have to get inside close. The biggest threat that Wilder has is that one punch knockout power, and he's dangerous. He
Yeah.
is the most dangerous guy to fight. So, both of them are going to have to be on their A game. So yeah, I understand it's kind of you're not sure because of the dynamics involved, but I don't see Wilder being able to change that much.
No, he probably won't. The one thing that might be different in this fight than the last fight is that Malik Scott ain't gonna throw in the towel. I don't think Malik Scott is
Okay.
gonna throw in the towel.
Yeah.
And truth be told, I know it's gonna sound crazy, but Fury was not cleanly hitting Wilder at the time that Breland threw in the towel. He was
I
he was
agree.
he was on the ropes and everything, but he wasn't getting hit cleanly from Tyson
When
Fury at the time that the towel was thrown. So if he would have
right.
survived that round, as we know, Wilder was losing the first fight, and he knocked him out at the end of the thing after losing
Well,
the
yeah,
whole fight.
that's true. It's
He
all
knocked
true.
him right out in the 12th round. So he has the power to be able to still be there all the way into the end. So
Well, what lost him that fight was his body posture. He had gotten caught a couple of good shots before they stopped it, but he was in his shell when they stopped him. When they stopped it, he was clear-headed. And he said, "What did you stop the fight for?"
Right, because he immediately was like, "What you doing?" So it wasn't like he was out of it or anything like that. It's just that
But he was taking a beating. I mean, he was.
He was getting hit, and who's to say that, unlike the first fight, Fury wasn't unloading on him like in the second fight. So he might have not been able to have the strength or the power or been able to get
but
a good shot in those last.
we're forgetting one thing. He took a beating in that fight. We don't know how he's going to react in the ring now since that fight. I mean, one fight can change you like that. And he really took a lot of punishment. He took punishment in the fight before that with King Kong.
Both of the King Kong fights.
Right. Yeah, but
both
what
of
I'm
the
saying
Ortiz
is that
fights,
I don't know how his machine, his body and his mind, how sharp he can be after all of that. I mean, he's had time to recover, but he also had pretty much a psychological breakdown too, with all those excuses.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that I'm worried about for him. I know he can knock anybody out, including, and Fury knows that too. He's been on his ass with them.
Yeah.
So he knows.
The Ortiz fight, the second one especially, like he was losing that one too before he knocked him out.
Yeah.
But I think part of that thing is he knows he has that power. So him losing or him getting beat up a little bit in the fight, because he got beat up before in fights. He has that thought that, all I gotta do is land. As long as they're not like slaughtering him and just like, having him without his wits and stuff, then, I think he would he'll be okay psychologically because I think he believes in his right hand that much that even if he says it all the time, like y'all got to be perfect for 11 rounds and 2 minutes and 50 seconds. All I need is 10 seconds, 1 to hit you and 10 to count you out. And like, and he says that often. Like I only need to be good 1 hit. Y'all need
That's
to be
true.
perfect.
I'll give my prediction.
Well, yes.
I'll give my prediction.
Get close to the mic.
I'm going to go for I'm not going to go for a knockout.
Fury. He
Fury-
says Fury on points.
That's what I'm going with.
Huh.
Fury on points.
I'm going to say that it's going to happen again.
Fury stoppage.
Yeah, I think it'll be a stoppage, probably in round 9 or 10. It possibly could go to a decision. I don't think so, but I
Can we
think
take
Fury
nothing away
is
from
ready
one?
to impose himself.
Can we take nothing
No.
away from one man guy on the planet, even Asia? And I believe the only other guy he probably loses to is possibly Usyk. But then again, I'm not so sure. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, Nathan, did you want to talk about this Chris Eubank Jr. fight and the late substitution?
Well, do you want to talk about the rest of the card, which is Hellenius and Jagba? Let's talk about the Jagba fight.
There's more fights on that. I mean,
Effie Jagba.
I thought I seen the fight, but
Effie Jagba.
No. Let's talk about the rest of that card. Yeah, there's Hellenius. I'm talking about something different. Yeah, I'm talking about
I thought you was
tomorrow.
talking about the rest of the Eubank card.
Hellenius. Yeah, Hellenius versus Kawanaki.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
Ajaba versus Sanchez, and then Berlanga's on that card. Julian Williams. That's a great card.
Yeah, they got some good fights on there. Berlanga, yeah, I'm gonna see, but I think I wouldn't mind seeing him. Is Fundora super middleweight or is he super welterweight?
Oh, Fundora wasn't he
The
light
tall
heavyweight?
No, he the tall guy, right? Isn't that his
Fundora.
name?
Didn't
Yeah,
he fight? Yeah. What about him?
I'm trying to, because I would like to see him go up against one of them slugger dudes. He's a tall guy, but he fights close and he's successful fighting in close to Fundora. I would like to see him fight a guy like Berlanga or something. If
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
If he's a super middleweight. I'm not sure. I think he's a super welterweight.
I'm thinking of the guy who fought, what's his name? Superman, who he fought him twice and lost. I thought his name was Fundora, unless he came down in weight from light heavyweight. So I don't know who you're talking about. But
you're talking about Funfara.
Oh, that's right.
You're talking about Funfara, yeah. Funfara,
Do you think Frank Sanchez could take Ajaba?
We're gonna see. This is gonna be interesting because ain't Sanchez undefeated also?
Yeah, 18-0.
And I think the one time Ajaba went the distance was against that other undefeated prospect. So this is gonna be a good one. I think it's gonna be a good one. They both.
I think Sanchez has a better amateur pedigree, doesn't he, from Cuba?
Yeah. He definitely is part of that Cuban school, so he has that with him. But yeah, I think Ajaba might lose this. I think.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it might be Sanchez.
Yeah.
I think Kawanaki going to beat Hellenius, and Sanchez might beat Ajaba.
Well, Kawanaki had better work on his defense, not just the swarming offense, because he got hurt real bad when he wasn't covering up.
Yeah, he thought that his little because he's a pressure fighter kind of guy.
Right.
He thought that pressure was going to burst Hellenius. He better have a different plan because he has the skills to do it. He, like you said, he better pay attention to that defense. He goes to the body a little bit more. He might be able to get him out.
He might, but there's a big size difference when we'll have to see how that works again.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is Julian Hard Rock Williams fighting here against Hernandez, right?
I believe this is J-Rock, yeah.
Yeah, so this must be like a comeback fight for him.
Yeah, or a stay busy type of thing because he's supposed to be. He hasn't fought in a minute, right?
Yeah, I think, didn't he lose the last time he fought?
I don't think that I thought he fought again after he lost the belts.
He did. I thought he fought twice, right? Let me look him up.
Wait, he lost his. Oh wow!
He has 2 losses, and I
Right,
think he
he has.
lost the second one.
No, he lost to Rosario. No, he lost to Rosario because that's who what's it called for, right? That's who Charlo fought, right?
I think so, yeah.
He lost to Rosario. Not who Charlo just fought, the one before that. The
Right.
one that he because Charlo had 2 belts and he
He
had
lost to
no, he had,
Rosario, and first he lost to Charlo,
and
right?
then he the bigger
And then he
Charlo, and
lost
then
to
he lost to,
Rosario. His last fight, he lost to Rosario. He was
but
TKO'd.
I thought he was TKO'd in both his losses then. I was
Yeah,
well, he wasn't
he was.
TKO, he was knocked out in that Charlo fight.
Charlo knocked him out, but he was TKO'd against Rosario.
Yeah, I thought he had a fight after that.
No, he has
What's
not.
up with Jared Hurd? What's going on with him?
He lost his last fight. I don't know if there's anything going on right now with him.
In other news,
He lost
Sergio
his last fight.
Martinez came back.
Oh,
Oh, he did win, right? Didn't he
He beat
win?
Brian Rose.
yeah, he won his 3rd fight in a row, but who's he going to fight? GGG? GGG will take him apart.
Yeah.
You know, that's crazy.
You can keep on fighting if he's fighting at the level he's fighting, but that's fine, you know.
But he fighting at what, super middleweight?
No,
No,
Fighting at-
middleweight. He's fighting middleweight.
Oh man, that is crazy.
That's really not. I don't know what to say about that.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
he's in a dangerous division right now. I mean, almost any of those guys could, beat him. Even some of the
What?
top contenders could beat him.
Yeah, what's it called? He might be. They might have to. They might have to get Andrade a name.
Oh no! Oh no! Hey, speaking of Andrade, did you guys see the weigh-in with Caleb Plant and Charlo and Canelo?
Yeah,
When
we
they
pushed
was
him.
fighting each other.
Yeah, did we talk about that last time?
Yeah, we did, yeah.
Oh, we did. That's right, we did. Okay.
So
Um,
fair judgment against
Eubank, Eubank and
I didn't.
Andrade would be a good one. That would be an interesting fight.
Which one?
Eubank versus Andrade. That would be good.
Ooh, no, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like his chances.
And he talking about after this fight, he want to Eubank after this fight, he want a shot at the title by the end of the year in December.
Well, who would he fight?
Andrade.
What guy is the easiest guy? Because they're going to pick the easiest guy, right?
That's what they're gonna have
Well,
to do.
GGG and Murata's fighting. Those are 2 of the belts.
Right.
That means it's
Right.
Charlo and Andrade left. So
Well,
Charlo
who is
will
the lesser
probably
of 2 evils?
Charlo will probably get him more money.
Yeah, but Charlo will bust him up.
Yeah, Charlo will probably bust him up.
Yeah, and Andrade, that would probably be a boxing match. I mean, he could take him out, but it'd probably be more of a him being aggressive and Andrade boxing him.
Yeah,
Still
that would be a good clash of
Wait.
styles. I would like.
Yeah. Nathan, what did you say? Come close to your mic. Don't look
I
away.
think Eubank would beat Murata. Anyway, aren't there some of the regular belts? Because what's his name at middleweight gave up his belt, didn't he? What's his name? One of the other guy who was the champion, who held 2 belts at 2 weights. I can't remember his name. Not Ugas.
I
Who
don't
recently
know.
fought?
What are you talking about?
Talking about a middleweight here?
Yeah, a guy who was a middleweight and a super middleweight. I can't remember his name. He fought recently.
Who, Canelo?
No, a Cuban guy. Cuban. I had these WBA regular.
Oh,
You're talking
about
Lara's the WBA champ. That's right.
Yeah, but he's vacated it, so that belt no longer exists. So that he'll probably fight someone for that. You know, someone who's the top 15. So are they?
Right.
Is it just the? It's just the interim they got rid of, then.
Eubank had the interim before, I thought. I thought
did.
his fight before was the interim, and Laura had the
regular.
world.
So they still have the regular belts, don't they? I believe.
Yeah, but remember the WBA of getting rid of those titles?
That's
Yeah,
what they've been saying, that man.
Yeah, that's what happened. So he probably now, he's looking for something. He wants a belt.
I'm
But
in a
I think
small minority, but I think that if the WBA followed their rules and all of that stuff, they wouldn't have so many belts.
that's
They
right.
just
That's right.
because the
What do
super
you guys
title is
think
for.
about what do you guys think about the International Olympic Committee giving Joe Joyce the gold medal now?
Oh, that's
What?
crazy. You know, Conlon,
Really?
it's funny because Conlon jumped up and was like, yo, they cheated me out of my fight too. Where's my gold?
Yeah, Floyd Mayweather too, and Evander Holyfield, and the list
Yeah,
goes on.
yeah.
What happens to
Roy
Tony Yoka?
Jones,
What happens to Tony Yoka? Does he lose all
he
his belts?
gets silver. He
He
gets
gets the
silver.
skill.
Why does that mean? Is it about matches?
They should fight.
Who's that? Who should fight?
Joe Joyce and Tony Yoka.
Yeah.
They should fight.
Ah,
I'd pick Yoka. I'd pick Yoka every time. I think Yoka's a better fighter.
No, I'm gonna pick Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce surprising me. I mean, I don't know. He don't look impressive, but like his
he's
jab is just so.
he's effective.
Yo,
I
that
don't
thing.
care if he.
He looked like a damn George Foreman type. He looked like George Foreman a little bit. Where he comes
The
up, he
thing.
got his guard up, and then the way he just pushes that jab, and that jab it's like a power jab, and it don't even look like he's throwing it hard. But
And not only that, you hit him in the face, and he just keeps on coming.
yeah, he could take a punch. He could
Ooh,
definitely
can he
take a
ever?
punch.
He doesn't
So
even blink.
yeah, that one is he's I don't know about Yoko beating him.
Hey, who do you think will win this, Avanasian or Liam Taylor tomorrow, Nathan?
Avanasian will win.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think so too.
Why is
Yeah, he's
Avanasian?
more.
Why is he fighting at this level? He gains nothing from fighting at this level. Avanasian, it makes no sense.
Well, he's.
EU ain't he defending that European title?
Yep,
Yeah, that's silly
yep.
belt.
European welter title. Yeah, that's
It-
why. That's
well,
why he's doing it.
He can't get. He the only person he could beat for anything bigger than the European title is Sugar Shane. That's the only person he could beat.
But
Right?
he's a former world champion. So he's gone back
by beating
Sugar
Sugar Shane. Didn't he beat Sugar Shane for that title?
Yeah, he did, but he's gone from being a world champion 5-6 years ago to now being a European level, which is what he was in the first place.
Mhm.
Yeah,
but he what?
I was gonna say he
No,
lucked up by them letting Avanasian versus Sugar Shane. I remember that card because Sugar Shane's son was on that card too. And I was
But
like,
this EBU belt is not for people like Avanasian, it's for people like Josh Taylor's. People, it's not built for people like Avanasian. Avanasian's gone past this club, he's definitely the world level.
yeah, but you know what? It's going to make him money, and that's a good thing. But
yeah,
next week you have Liam Smith versus Anthony Fowler and Cheeseman versus Troy Williamson. Those two should be good fights.
I'm picking
and Avanasian is in a division where he's
So
not
tough.
a name that people is trying to fight. He's not a name, he's not a draw that anybody of the top level that's a champion is going to fight.
He's just a guy that basically handed in easy world top 6 years ago. That's what it was. Yeah.
Well, it's good for the card. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
But next week you have the other card with Liam Smith and Anthony Fowler. That should be a good fight.
Yeah.
And Cheeseman versus Williamson.
Yeah.
That should be another good fight.
Yeah, those are good.
He's a warrior. And
Yeah,
don't they have
good.
Conway and Metcalf? That should be good too.
Yeah, those guys always give good shows, win or lose.
They're tough guys.
Yeah, They give
Tough
entertaining
guys.
fights. They throw their hands. They're not afraid to
Right.
throw their hands. So
No, they're
it's always
not. They're
good.
not at all. But did you guys see it yet? The Muhammad Ali documentary?
Yep.
What about you, Nathan?
Oh, didn't see it. No, I didn't see it.
Yeah, I think you would really love it. I think they left a couple things out. But what's interesting, I really found this funny, was when they talked so poorly about Don King, and then they put Don King's interview on, like right after that. And he has not changed one bit,
Mm-mm.
you
No,
know?
Don King is the same way. He's Don King. I
And they
don't.
never mentioned how he cheated Muhammad Ali out of about $2 million.
Yeah, with what he gave her 50,000 in cash or something.
Yeah, when he fought Holmes.
Yeah, he was supposed to get paid, and he just gave him like what 50,000 or whatever. He was like, you could go to court,
Yeah,
but
but
you
it's,
ain't,
you know,
or you could take this right now and just call it a day. Yeah,
I know.
Don King wasn't crap. See, the good thing about Muhammad Ali, he was so world famous that his name alone was trademarked, and they could make money off of his name. The
Yep.
family could make money off of his name. Not too many
It,
boxers you're gonna have that with, but Muhammad Ali is one of the few.
I was surprised that they didn't go more into his relationship with Lonnie and how well, they did say like how she managed the finances and everything. That was great. But also, they never mentioned that he had actually changed uh, from what you call it, from the Elijah Muhammad church. He
He,
became more of a traditional Muslim
sort
and
of
was
like what
practicing.
Malcolm X did toward the end.
Right. I forgot the name of it. Was it Sufi? I
Sunni,
forgot the name of the specific sect.
Sunni. He
There,
was
there,
Sunni,
there,
Sunni Muslim.
there's the Sunni, right? The Shiites and right. He became a Sunni, but they never got into that for some reason. And I was surprised that they didn't mention that point. I was surprised they didn't mention. But whatever. I thought that would have been something to say, to talk about his spiritual evolution.
Yeah,
But that guy was one of my what?
Ken Burns does some pretty good documentaries, yo. He did
Yeah,
baseball. His baseball documentary was good. I think he
I
did what's
remember.
it called too. I think he did Jack Johnson.
Uh,
Unforgivable blackness or something like that.
uh,
The unapologetic, something like that. He
oh,
did, I
Jack,
think, Jack
Jack
Johnson's
was.
documentary too.
How Jack didn't get killed during that time amazed me. You know, I saw the Broadway play with James Earl Jones, the original
Yeah, I've
Broadway
seen that.
play. Oh my God, I was there in the theater and it was an amazing play. How he never got assassinated during
Yeah,
that time.
that's a shocker.
Hello.
Maybe because
Yeah.
maybe maybe because they was scared.
When
He
he
was
died,
the baddest man on the
you
planet.
remember when he died? His car brakes failed when he died in 1947. So he died off coming off a cliff. So he lived to 65, which is amazing that he even managed to have that far. But the brakes on his car
Yeah.
were
Well,
tapped.
he actually met Muhammad Ali and gave him some pointers or
No, he
whatever.
didn't. He
But
didn't meet him.
didn't he meet
No.
Muhammad Ali? I thought he
I
did.
thought, was it Ali?
I have a recollection of that. But what the interesting thing was about it is that Congress passed the Mann Act just to entrap him. And do you know that law is still on the books now?
Yeah, it's crazy that Donald Trump was the one that pardoned him.
No, it wasn't. My friends in the WBC.
Didn't he sign the papers to say that?
Yes, I'm not saying he didn't do it. What I'm saying is that my friends in the WBC were the ones that were pushing that to
Yeah,
happen.
yeah. Listen,
Yeah.
I thought it was what's it called too. I thought it was What's his name?
And there was someone else. Yeah, there
Rocky.
was someone else.
Sylvester Stallone. I thought
He
Stallone
was in
was.
on it. He was in on it too.
I thought he
He
helped
was,
push it too. Yeah.
yeah, and I thought that was great. I thought that was
But
wonderful, you know?
but Deontay Wilder was at that press conference when he, when he signed things. I think Lennox
Yeah,
Lewis was there too. Lennox, I think it was Lennox, Deontay Wilder, Sylvester Stallone, Donald Trump. That was the
right.
picture.
And
Well,
also
well,
Mauricio Suleiman, Jill
Suleiman,
Diamond
yeah.
from the WBC, they were there. And
Yeah,
it's
they
like,
were.
it was the right thing to do, you
well,
know?
Yeah, it's mad years late, but yeah, definitely.
Yeah, well, better now than ever.
Never.
And he also passed that other legislation to
well,
reform.
we've run out of time.
Uh,
We've run out of time.
oh, we're
All
having a good
right.
time.
Tim
All
Tszyu
right,
versus
guys.
Inoue. I want to see that
Yeah,
fight.